Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. We're in video number 3 of 3. It's a 3-part Measure of Love Stamp-A-Stack card class. There are optional class packs available at KitchenTableStamper.com/shop. This is our card today. The Stamp-A-Stack makes 2 of this Love You More card. And if you missed video number 1, we made this You More Than Measure Up. The kit makes, or the Stamp-A-Stack makes 2 of this card. Video number 2 was this Sweet Friend card and makes 3. The Stamp-A-Stack makes 3 of this design. All right, let's get started with our final card in the Stamp-A-Stack, Love You More. I'm gonna just grab some materials out of my kit here. We've got some soft succulent ribbon. This is all the designer series paper that's left to play. So you get 1/4 of a package, plenty left to play. Our kits come with the envelopes for mailing your cards. For this card design, you're gonna need Calypso Coral cardstock, and the Stamp-A-Stack makes 2. The pieces are 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we've got a beautiful panel of Calypso Coral. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're gonna emboss them and then bump them up a little bit so we get this beautiful framed texture. Isn't that cool? All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna use my Ornate Floral 3D folder. Of course, you can substitute this. We don't do the embossing or stamping for you, but you can substitute this for, I think the macrame folder would look really cool. Of course, anything of your choice, or you could stamp this background panel using a background stamp or random stamping. I also think that the Measure of Love stamp set, this floral background done randomly, would give you a much similar effect. All right, let's get in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Pop this guy through. When you're using a 3D folder in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, you use 1 and 4 in your machine. Let's give that a crank and get some texture on. Get that gorgeous 3-dimensional floral texture. Pretty cool, huh? Our Stamp-A-Stack makes 2 cards, so let's get our card bases folded. And we'll go ahead and adhere our floral embossed panel. I love this look of the monochromatic framed panel. We've got the texture in the center and then a nice smooth frame that's the same color. It's really just a nice textural element, a dimensional look. I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to put my panels on the card front, which gives us even a little bit more dimension. And nobody likes a saggy middle, so be generous with your adhesive. All right, everything's all sticky, and we're just gonna frame this right up in the center. Equal border all the way around. Now this is part 3 of a 3-part series. In part 1, we cut our designer series paper so that we could get 7 cards from just a little smidge over 4 sheets of designer series paper. So these designer series paper pieces are 3 by 3, 2 by 3, and 1/2 by 3.5. Let's go ahead and adhere them to the card front using multi-purpose liquid glue, and be generous with your glue, or you could use a strong dry adhesive like tear and tape, or if you still have Fast Fuse, or Seal Plus if you want to, but you're gluing down to a 3-dimensional embossed panel, so be generous with your adhesive so that it gets a good grip. So you're looking for an equal border, top, bottom, right, and left. So you'll arrange these 2 larger pieces overlapping to get that border. And then you'll cover the seam between the 2 using this Just Jade chevron pattern. Very good. Let's catch this guy up. All right, next up we've got a little die cut tag here. This one we did ahead of time for you using a tailor-made tags dies. This one is the largest of this clip corner tags. We also did, be careful because your envelopes might eat this, the little D reinforcer. So if you're using the kit, make sure you really check the bottom of your envelope and make sure that you got your little reinforcer. If you're cutting your own, this is Calypso Coral, and the tag is Basic White. So let's go ahead and adhere the little D to the tag so we can't lose it after we've rescued it from our envelope that wants to eat the little pieces. We don't want to lose it now, so go ahead and adhere that to the tag using multi-purpose liquid glue. All right, let's do some stamping. Got my Stampin' Pierce mat because Measure of Love is a photopolymer stamp set, and the Stampin' Pierce mat will give you the cushion that the photopolymer stamps don't have. So you notice the rubber ones have a cushion underneath the rubber die. The photopolymer, the die sticks directly to the block. So you want the Stampin' Pierce mat for a little bit of extra cushion. It'll help give you the best impression. Got Memento Tuxedo Black and Calypso Coral ink. Got the Love You More sentiment. We're gonna stamp that right along the bottom stitch of our tag, centered right to left. So cute. And then in your kit, you got some half sheets of Whisper White. You've been using those for your stamping. Let's get one of those. Got one that's already started here, and I've already done the scale for our first copy. And the cupcakes for our first copy. So let's catch up the second copy. We're going to stamp the scale using Memento Tuxedo Black. And then we're gonna stamp that little tower of cupcakes, so stamp it twice. If you're doing the whole stamp a stack of cards. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we need the little needle on our scale. We're gonna do that with Calypso Coral and add that to the front, to the face of the scale. I love that so much, that just delights me. All right, let me clear away the ink pads and we'll color. All right, for my scale, I have Mint Macaron combo and Gray Granite combo. I'm going to give my scale a nice little base coat of Mint Macaron in the light shade. You want to fill this completely and really saturate so that when you lay down the dark Mint Macaron, it'll just start to blend right away. Little circular or oval strokes are the best for a nice complete fill. So just do little scribbles. All right. Then we're going to shadow the edges and corners here. And then you just bring the two shades together using the lighter marker and little circular strokes. And we'll leave the Mint Macaron. We're going to use that for our cupcake frosting. And light gray granite to fill in this little tray. If you've watched the series, you've seen this a couple of times. We're just going to do that kind of standard light, dark, light blend. All right, that's our scale. Let's do our cupcakes. I'm going to use Mint Macaron, So Saffron, Calypso Coral, and then for my cake, I wanted it to be kind of a chocolate look cake. I got dark crumb cake and light soft suede. We only need 3, so let's choose ones that are easy to cut out. We're working in a small space here, so I'm doing that same light, dark, light blend, but I'm going to do in batches, 2 at a time here. Because it's a small area, very saturated, I won't even go back to the light on this one. Just light and then darker shadow. I'm going to do the frosting in the same order that I did the cake. That gives the edge between the brown and then the color frosting just a little bit more time to dry in between color application. Shadow down the left side of the cake, so we'll shadow the left side of the frosting. Keep that consistent. The eye will notice even if the brain doesn't. For the Calypso Coral, which is just a little bit darker between, or a little bit wider gap between light and dark shades, I like to pick up just a little bit of the dark Calypso Coral on the tip of the light marker. Gives a little bit more control. See how dark the dark is over the light. It's more contrast than some of the other Stampin' Up! Markers. When you're done with the tip-to-tip blending, just scribble the light one till it runs light again. And our mint macaron. And I like this one with the big sprinkles at the top because it kind of looks like mint chocolate chip then. That's my favorite. I love mint chocolate chip. All right, there's our cupcakes and our scale. And we're just gonna cut them out, the little white border, and get some dimensionals on the back. Okay, everybody's all cut out. Let's grab some dimensionals and mini dimensionals and get them all bumped up. I love these little mini dimensionals for the back of the cupcake. It's a perfect fit. No fuss, no muss. Don't have to cut them up or anything. All right, dimensionals on, everybody. Let me slide them aside for a minute and let's take care of our tag before we pick and stick. Now for our tag, we're gonna grab that amazing soft succulent ribbon. This stuff is so beautiful. Got the little shiny edge and the sheer center. We're gonna pull through, and you want from about the end of your palm to the first knuckle of your middle finger. In general is about how I measure for tying a bow through something like this. Got the spool in my right hand, and I'm gonna just push up, loop over the top, and through that space right there, pull. You'll see it ends up ears up, tails down. Now you can hold the center and pull, hold the center and pull, and then tighten the knot and give it a little more finesse. And there's your tag. When we cut away from the spool, we cut just what we need. And when we clean up this end, that's all the waste. All right, let's do one more time and we'll glue them to the tag. Now let's glue to the card. We're gonna use multi-purpose liquid glue here, or a flat dry adhesive. And just center in the designer series paper. Okay, let's remove the dimensionals on our scale and cupcake and place them on the tag. Now you're gonna wanna get the scale as close to the sentiment as you can get it without obscuring what it says. And then little cupcakes, you want them to dance just a little bit in their pyramid shape, so a little tippy is okay. And that last one's gonna go right up to the bow. So cute, there it is. Love you more. The last card in our Measure of Love Stamp Stack. Thanks for being a part of this class. If you've got any questions at all about the projects, the optional class packets, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, reach out to me. Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com is my email address. To see if there are packets left for you to follow along with the class, buzz over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And to shop Stampin' Up 24/7, MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.